One. Panel, ladies and gentlemen, we think that it's rather ironic that in instances that matter the most and there's something to strike about, which is probably proximate to these individuals, is exactly the point in which we have this like boogeyman metric or strange way in which inhibits their ability to truly be able to exercise that right and choice. That is to say, that the state makes a decision for them wherein they say that, because of a minimum baseline, some of you should not and will not be allowed to go and protest, and as a consequence, infringes on their ability to be able to exercise that fundamental right to be able to protest at the point in which they choose for them and ascribe that particular standard. This debate is not about whether or not protesting is good or bad, but this is uniquely about that minimum requirement and how it's rather fishy that this kicks in at a point in which there's something to strike about. Don't get me wrong, the road to hell is like paved with good intention, and we tell you that for sure they're saying that, yeah, it's for public safety, it's to be able to take care of people. Like, yeah, no shit, this debate's not about like whether we want to take care of people or not, because on both sides that's gonna happen, but I question the lens in which we do it, precisely because when we make that decision for them, it disproportionately grants the ability of people to be able to do it. Meaning, those people who just happen to not be on shift or rotation during that time are free to be able to protest. But if their supervisor or higher up tells them that, oh, you have to go in because of that requirement, curtails that ability. What am I trying to say? I think that these people fundamentally have a right to be able to choose, and that is something which motivates our side of the house. A few key points of framing coming from our side. Number one, we think that these people are one of the most noble, smart, and actually care about these particular people. Meaning, it's not like these people are all selfish capitalist fucks and they're gonna strike willy-nilly for no reason, right? Meaning, in the worst case wherein there's something so systemic that harms these particular people, is exactly the point in which we need the state and society to take it seriously, because these particular people are actually saying that we're willing to let you die, we're willing to not protect you because we fundamentally believe in something more powerful. Whether that be a fucking dictator or whether that be a systemic and entrenched problem like, I don't know, the PhilHealth not doing what they're supposed to do, or a police force doing things like engaging in wars about drugs and violence, is exactly the point in which we need to allow them the opportunity and agency to make that choice for them. I hope it's clear, because it's not like everyone's gonna fuck off and do it, but we need to be able to give them the capacity to do so in order to unlock that ability to make that choice, and that in and of itself is a good, because if we're able to allow them to choose between will I protest or will I go to my job, it enforces their ability to make an informed choice, and we can truly see the separation. These groups of people who are pissed because they're not gonna be able to work and they don't get paid or aren't able to go up that corporate ladder because they missed a meeting and stuff like that, are literally able to exercise and make that trade-off at the point in which it's proximate to them. You might ask, what are these issues we're even striking about, right? It's not going to be something bullshit like, I don't know, a movie or some random woke set of ideologies. It's probably going to be something very proximate to their work, like I mentioned in my pre-oration. Something systemic about funding, about pay, and the ability for these particular people, who we recognize to be so vital, who often get the short end of the stick and are most systematically harmed by these particular things. Meaning, if you cut their pension, or you cut funding for, let's say, a firefighters brigade or a police force, it's exactly the point in which you inhibit their ability to even do their job effectively. And you should listen to this, because I was talking to my sister and she's a nurse, and oftentimes they really complain about how The government is not giving us funding to do the thing we need to do, and there are times in which we really need to go out and protest to be able to exercise and show that, hey, in order for society and the government to take things seriously and have a sense of visibility, we are putting our reputation on the line, even to the point in the worst case that we put the public on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a debate about leverage, and in status quo, these government people cloak it in terms of public safety and helping people. But in reality, they're putting these individuals on a leash and saying that up, some of you, because we have a baseline, no, you won't be able to protest. And that in and of itself is fundamentally curtailing on their ability in a democracy to be able to do these particular things. Why do they do it? Quite very interesting. It's because they feel like they have something to lose. They want to frame it in a way, and I'm talking about governments, to be able to say that, public health and safety is an absolute good. That's true, right? And probably their side's gonna burden push us and say like, people die, all that stuff. But I'm telling you that in order to truly take care of us, people in society, we ironically have to be able to listen and take care of those who take care of us in order for the systems of the police, firefighting, and ultimately even healthcare in order to be able to function and get the longevity, because this is uniquely a debate about political capital and the ability for people to exercise those things insofar as these things particularly happen. What have we told you so far, right? We told you that we need to be able to remove this particular requirement in order to give people free and meritocratic access to be able to exercise their rights, in order to be able to be a check and balance against the leverage they currently have over them, in order to ironically be able to unlock the things that they want to do, which is likely to be proximate to them, and as a consequence helps and trickles back down into society, because these are often about funding and ways in which governments make decisions, because these very people who protect us, who we love, and who love us, ultimately are the ones who are most proximate to the issues, and as a consequence should have stake to be able to make that decision. We are very proud to stand on side proposition.